Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the start of the current trading week. So, last week was quite wild with all the big moves that we had in the market. Although, if you were really watching my content, you would note that I kind of had it all down to the T. So, for me, it actually quite all worked out according to my trading plan, right? So last week is gone. Let's start with a new week. New week, new ideas, new forecast, right? So just to obviously kick off, we start again with the dollar. As I did note from last week that the dollar was making its way to the third to fourth swing point, and we are currently at the fourth swing point. So now it ultimately is going to determine what happens this week. Do we go bearish, or do we wait for some sort of bounce for the dollar to break this current larger time frame downtrend, right? So for me at the moment, until the dollar shows more bearish signs, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Okay, what I mean by that, even though yes, we are in an overall downtrend, currently we had this massive push to the downside, right? And if we just drop it to the lower time frame, we can see that this drop to the downside kind of ended at where the price previously went up from. And now on the lower time frame, we have a bullish reversal wedge. So this is a bullish reversal wedge at the bottom of this larger drop. So as you can see, this is more like a bullish reversal wedge, or it could be even classified as an inverse head and shoulder pattern. If I just remove this, you can see this looks like an inverse head and shoulder pattern right here, right? So for now, all the signs are showing that the dollar might be bullish again, but for me, I will not just be rushing to enter bullish, and this will be based off the larger time frame showing us clearly rejecting at key previous support resistance level. If you can see that this was a previous major support zone. And if you note, every time the price was underneath the zone, we pushed to the downside, right? And currently, we actually retested this previous now resistance major zone, and price shot down. So there's nothing actually stopping us from saying that the dollar is going to continue to the downside. There's nothing stopping us, right? Even though the lower time frame is showing bullish, but this bullish might be very short. It might just go all the way up to here just to get the unfilled sell position orders, because that drop was so sharp from last week. I'm sure that many orders were left open. Look at this drop. There was not even one green candle, and that could represent a lot of unfilled orders. If you trade supply and demand, you will understand this concept, right? So even though the price is looking bullish for now, but I think that this bullish is not gonna last, and that is based off the larger time frame showing all signs of bearish movement. So for me, what I basically will be waiting for, I'll be waiting for the price to break below this level right here, give some sort of retest or something just to confirm this level, and then enter a short position, right? So since I'm expecting the dollar to be bearish, that makes all my other trades much more easier to have buys on, right? Such as Euro USD. If you can see, Euro USD, we had also the third to fourth swing point, and now we're at the zone right here. If you can see, this is forming a kind of uptrend, you can say. Price is above the previous key zone that it once respected, and on this pair it's actually more interesting because Euro USD has also formed a sort of bearish reversal wedge of the impulse to the upside. But if you look at this, let's just try to look at this more thing. So if you look at this, this looks more like an inverse head and shoulder pattern. This looks like more like an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which thus confirms to us that there may be more bullish movement to the upside, and the price might just follow this pattern that it is now forming, right? And since we are getting some sorts of bullish signs on Euro USD, and it's a mirror to the dollar, therefore we can also expect our dollar to continue being bearish, right? So for me, Euro USD, I'll be looking for long entry positions. US 30 also key at a key area, right? So from last week we had a rejection of this key zone, and now we can see that this is forming a sort of inverse wedge, right? So an inverse triangle or inverse wedge, whatever you may call it. But if you can see that this looks like a key support zone that it's at, right? Plus two, it's also paired with a potential demand area right here. And now we can see some sort of bullish action taking place. Let's just see. Yeah, so the price is kind of like dragging, right? So for me, for US 30, I would be interested in entering long positions. I would not be interested in entering short positions up until we reach this key zone right here. And gold. So gold from last week, I also spoke about this. There was a lot of bearish activity that was happening with gold. And basically when the price started rejecting at this 90%, as I said, the price actually blew past 90% a little bit, and then I said we can have one of two things: price can either break down or it can form some sort of a fake out or liquidity sweep. And if you just look at this looks like a sort of inverse head and shoulder, but not confirmed yet. But you can see since the price broke down, it then broke into the larger wedge formation, and this movement is more like a trading range, right? It's more like a trading range, meaning it's just basically the price is just within this wedge. This wedge could be a build up to the larger breakout, right? So currently what we have with gold is that we are back in the wedge, and we take this as a liquidity sweep, right? So since we are back in the wedge pattern, we will therefore consider gold to then complete the pattern, meaning we expect gold to at least go up to this point of the wedge. From here, where it takes us, we won't know, but from here we could expect two things. We could expect price to break out, retest the all-time highs, or we can expect price to just continue to conform to this wedge formation, right? Okay, so just to recap once again, the dollar for me, I will assume that it is bearish and it will be following the larger time frame downtrend. Even today, if we do get some bullish movement to the upside, I will not be interested in taking any positions that favor the dollar being bullish. Rather, I will favor the dollar being bearish. And what that means is that Euro USD, I'll be looking for buy positions. Gold, I would be looking for also buy positions.